AI news today, January 15, lots of interesting stuff. So number one, Mayo Clinic is getting into the business of AI. It's one thing to have a bro on X say, hey, I got diagnosed correctly by AI. It's another thing to have Mayo Clinic producing a production AI system, and they're doing it 2 times for 2 different things. So I'll summarize quickly. They're working on radiology, which is a classic example of what AI seems to do well, which is look at X-ray images. So they're looking at change between chest X-rays, they're looking at tube and line placement, and they're looking at report generation. And they say that it's working well enough to sort of productionalize it, release a press release, etc. Which is a step, right? Like getting to production AI systems is hard. And so that's definitely a step forward. The second one, the details are a little sketchy. And it sounds a little sci-fi. So at the end of the day, one of the things that Mayo has been working on is personalized medicine for individual genomes or individual genetic footprints for humans. But keeping track of all that and understanding what a reference baseline genome for a human might be is really hard. And so what they say is they're building a new AI model that will act as a reference genome that they can use to build personalized medicine more easily. The details are very sketchy on this. They appear to be working with Azure, probably with OpenAI at some level. We will see. But I think it's interesting that they thought it was important enough that they wanted to put a press release out on it. It means they're investing some pretty serious resources in it, so we'll probably see more detail later. What else? Reddit has been in the business of doing those like AI summaries that Google does, but Reddit is not getting the pushback yet on the work that they did to launch this. So they're launching LLM-driven conversational summaries across all of their threads. So you can get answers to things in one place. And they took their time with it, right? Like Google rushed their AI summaries to market, they got panned for it, and Reddit has been slow to market. They've not been in a rush. And I'm really curious to see, like, are people gonna look at that and say, wow, it's a higher quality thing than Google? I don't know. Tell me what you think. I think it'll be interesting. What else has been happening? So the other thing I want to call out is that there's this ongoing thread on memory. I mentioned memory as a major problem for 2025 a couple of months ago. Some of you have asked for updates in the comments. There have been a couple of dotted lines that indicate that we are indeed moving into a world where memory is going to be something that's solved. I'll lay out 3 of them. One I mentioned yesterday. It was a paper that came out from Google called Titans that talks about how to solve for memory with a different kind of architecture, moving past transformer-based architectures. Another one that came out overnight is a paper from Hailuo, which is a Chinese model builder, and they introduced a new model called Minimax that has a gigantic context window. It's 4 million tokens, but it has perfect recall across that context window. And so it's another sort of dot along that pathway toward memory where you're starting to see people actually launch, not just write papers, but launch models that have extraordinary recall over very long context windows. If like 4 million tokens, that's longer than a large novel. Like if you read like those doorstopper French novels like Les Miserables, it's longer than that. It's a lot. It's an immense context window for one conversation, and it has perfect recall across that. And then the last bullet point on memory is that some beta users are getting ChatGPT notifications in their apps that memory has been improved. No one knows what this means. It could mean that it has better recall of specific facts from past conversations. It could mean it has more memory to work with. We don't know. We might not get an answer because ChatGPT just sometimes never sort of updates you on what it means, and you find out over time. Last but not least, I wanted to call out rumors for the end of the month. So January 30th is coming. 3 things are rumored to be released or close to release from OpenAI. One is the O3 model, which they announced but didn't release in December. One is Orion, which everyone kind of guesses is the GPT-5, which is a larger pre-trained model than GPT-4, but we don't know. And then the third rumor is that they're going to release something much bigger in agents. So scheduled tasks, which is what they released yesterday, is like, schedule me a reminder to do this and that, which is fine. But the rumor is they're going to release something called operators, which is a fully fledged agent workflow thing. We will see. I mention this because typically OpenAI rumors are about 60 to 70% correct, and so it's worth knowing ahead of time because all our lives will change. So there you go. That's the news and just a dash of rumor for January 15th. Cheers.